Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Dallas Karting Complex Rental League Race Final. Now, if you didn't see my pre-final race, I started in 10th place, worked my way up into 6th, and that's where we're going to be starting for the final race. Now for this race, I will be in cart number 1, and throughout this day, whoever was in cart number 1 tended not to do very well. So I had a choice, either swap out this cart for another one and start dead last, or just stick with this one and just bear it out. So I decided to stay with this cart, decided to take it like a man, and we did not swap carts. So I already know going into this race, I'm going to be on the back foot, but hopefully it's not as bad as people say it is. So we're gridding up here. We're starting on the right-hand side of the grid, and around Dallas Karting Complex, that means that going into turn 1, I will have the outside. So my tactic or my plan for the start of the race, hold it around the outside. Going into turn 2, I'll have the inside and go from there. Now obviously things do not go to plan, so if anything does happen, I will have to adjust my plan, but that's going to be my goal. So we're about to get onto the main straight here. I give the person to the left of me a little fist bump, wishing him good luck. And going down the straight here, the person starting in first gets to dictate how fast we go at the start of the race. And he's going nice and slow. I really appreciate it when the people in first go this slow. So we're waiting for the flagman to wave green. Flagman waves green. We're good to go. Right off the bat, the inside gets a very poor run. So we pass 2 people almost instantly just because of that. Like we said at the start, we're going to try and hold it around the outside. Jackson in cart 12 here is able to hold it on the inside. We do gain a position overall because the inside didn't get that good of a start. And now we're up into 5th place. Like I said at the beginning of the race, my kart doesn't have the best straight line speed, so we're going to try and make the most of it. I obviously don't know how bad my kart is in a straight line, so we're going to try and keep up with Jackson up ahead. He's a fast driver. Hopefully we can work together, make our way through the pack. So going down the straight here, you can see that my kart really isn't able to catch up to them, but they're not really pulling away from me too much, so maybe this kart isn't all that bad. Going to turn 1, kart number 8 here goes for the move. He gets the job done. His exit isn't all that great, but still he does get by me. We move down into 6th place. I will say this kart had pretty good handling. Through the corners, I was able to keep up with people, but like I said, going down the straight, I really didn't have a lot of answers. So at this point of the race, we're about to end lap 2, and the people in front really aren't pulling away too much, so this kart isn't the worst, but it definitely isn't the best, because top end, I've got nothing. As going down the straight here on the left, we see kart number 19 easily sails by. Chance in kart number 14 tries to pass me. I try and hold it around the outside, make it a little more difficult for him. And then going to this right-hander up here, we receive a push from behind, and their intentions is clearly to push me into the tire wall here. They were not trying to help me, and that is our good friend from the pre-final in the gold helmet, not really known for his clean racing, and unfortunately he does pass us. He's in cart number 3, which was incredibly fast today, and I'm in cart 1, so I will probably not be able to catch up with him. So going down the straight here, we see cart number 19 didn't get the best of exits coming out of the last couple of corners, so we're definitely close to them. Obviously not close enough to go for a move into turn 1. Right on their bumper going through turn 1 here. And then through the corners, like I said, my kart was pretty decent, so I think if I'm going to go for any moves, it's going to be through the corners. So coming out of this left-hander right here, 19 does not get a very good exit. We send it up the inside. We're up into 7th place here, and this is where we're going to have to try and pass most people through the corners. But going through this left-hander right here, 19 is going to go for the instant reply, and this gives me poor momentum. Chance passes us, and then on the right, we see Aiden passes us. I just don't have the engine to do anything about it. And it's just really frustrating because I'm basically a sitting duck. And then going into turn 1 here, someone's going to look on the inside here. We're going to try and hold it around the outside. I'm not going to make it easy for people to pass me. You know, they got to work for it. Going through this quick right, left-hander right here. We go side by side. I give him plenty of room. He gives me plenty of room. Some good clean racing right here. He eventually gets the job done, and we eventually go down into 11th place. Now I had 23 for qualifying. I know that's a pretty quick car, so I'm probably not going to be able to keep up with him. But one thing I will say is that if you do have a slow kart, a lot of people will know about it, and they'll just lunge you like crazy. They'll go for crazy dive bombs because they don't want to get stuck behind you. And going to turn one, that's going to be a perfect example right here as we get absolutely lunged on the inside. People really do not want to be stuck behind you, and I get passed by 2 people here. Not too happy about that move, but obviously there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So we're down into 13th place here, and that's obviously not the best position in the world, but we're just going to put our head down, try and reduce the damage, try and prevent from going any further back. So going through this left-hander right here, we're going to see cart number 20 tap his helmet. He wants me to push him going down the straight. I'm sorry, man, but I'm probably not going to be able to do that. I don't really have the cart to do that. He's looking for the move on cart number 24 here. I'm going to try and follow him going to turn 1. Obviously, I'm not that close, but through the braking zone, I can brake a little late. A little contact with 24, but that's okay. I raise my hand, say I'm sorry, and then going to this quick right left-hander, he just pushes me into the grass. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but clearly raising my hand in frustration, not happy about that. You can see someone from behind is looking for a way around me, so we do have more company from behind. So we're still in 13th place here, but we've switched from offense to defense. So instead of, trying to pass cart number 24, now we got to worry about the people behind. And when I say defense, I don't really mean I'm defending a whole lot here. I'm literally waving people by as cart 29, that's our friend Javen, just passes me like I'm nothing. Going through turn 1 here, I give him a little tap. That affected me more than it affected him, so I actually lose more momentum. But I'm just going to wave Javen by. He's a good friend. I don't want to ruin his race. And then going into this right-hander right here, Mr. Xander's going to try and poke his nose in, try and pass us on the inside, but we're going to hold it around the outside. Some textbook driving going on here. And coming out of these last couple of corners here, I'm actually going to go defensive against Xander. I've raced against Xander at NTK many times. I know he's a good driver, but I'm going to go defensive, give him a little friendly wave, tell him my kart sucks. And you can see it didn't really matter if I went defensive or not. He actually pulled in front of me so far that he was able to take the normal racing line. So it doesn't really matter how much defending I do. When I get onto the straights, they're just going to pass me. So if we look further ahead, we can see that there are 2 karts having a disagreement here. One kart gets spun around. We move up into 14th place. Textbook pass on my part. It doesn't really get better than that. And we're now up into 14th place here. We still have Xander in front of us, but obviously, like I said, he's going to have a straight line speed advantage on me. But at this point of the race, this is when I kind of just settled into where my kart is the fastest. So through the corners, I think I was a little bit faster than Xander. I don't know if he's been here before, but down the straights, he was definitely faster than me. So those 2 would cancel out, and we were kind of about the same speed. So the main place I noticed where I'd catch up to Xander the most was this right-hander up ahead. So I think I was taking a little bit more speed than him. I was able to close the gap, and you can see coming out of this left-hander right here, the gap is less than a kart length. So that's where I would notice I would catch up to Xander the most. Obviously down the straights, that's where he would extend the gap a little bit more. I don't know if this was his first time here at DKC, so he might still be learning the track. He taps his helmet, tells me to work together with him. I extend my hand, saying I'm giving it all she's got. There's not a whole lot I can do down the straights. He wants me to push him, but obviously I can't. But I would like to work together with him. But like I said, down the straights, he pulls away from me, but through the corners, I start catching up to him, and it really just cancels out, so we're kind of at a stalemate. So currently, there is someone behind us who I think was about the same pace as Xander and myself, and I am aware of their presence. I just gotta hope that they don't try and fight us too much. And going down the straight here, he actually pushed me down the straight. So going down the straight here, you're going to see me jolt, and I nod my head up and down. That's me saying thank you, I appreciate it. And that's going to help us keep up with Xander going down the straights. Now, that guy didn't have to do that. He could easily pass me because, like I said, my kart has 0 top end. So it's really nice to see that he's willing to work together, because we can see up ahead that the group in front is getting closer, and they're definitely not working together. They're definitely fighting and trying to pass each other. So the 3 of us are going to try and work together, try and catch up to them. Again, Xander points forward. He reminds me, he says, look, let's catch up to these guys. I totally agree with him. Again, the person from behind is pushing me, and I'm able to keep up with Xander here, and we're going to try and catch up to them and hopefully gain some positions. Now, it's very rare to actually see people work together at DKC. It does happen, but it doesn't happen a whole lot, especially when you've got a slow cart like mine. People usually don't want to be messing with slow carts. They just want to pass them right away. As we're going through this right-hander right here, we give Xander a little love tap from behind, just letting him know we're still behind him and we're still willing to work together. Coming out these last couple of corners, we're right on Xander's bumper, and this is good news because we are actually able to push him down the straights here. He points forward, he gives me a thumbs up, says thanks for the bump. I look behind me, give the guy behind me a little thumbs up saying thanks for the push as well. And we're definitely closing that gap to the people in front. You can see up ahead, they're still going side by side through some corners, they're still passing, and this is just gonna bring us closer and closer to them. So we've got about 4 or 5 more laps left in this race. As going through this right-hander here, I give Xander yet another tap. Lost a little bit of momentum coming through the corner, but nothing too catastrophic. But like I said, we've got 4 or 5 more laps left in this race, and that might sound like a lot, but the laps around DKC, especially this configuration, is really not that long. It's about 39.5 seconds. As I nod my head up and down, give the guy behind me a thumbs up. Really appreciate him pushing me down the straights because he didn't really have to. Usually when you have a fast cart, especially much faster than mine, people usually pass you down the straights and just try and pull away. So like I said before, we are definitely catching up to the carts in front. We're closing that gap down, and it's going to look like it's going to come down to the last couple of laps when we catch up to them. So we got to keep the laps consistent. I think during this race, I was doing 39.3s, which was pretty quick in Kart 1 because I was being pushed down the straights. I point forward, telling Xander, hey, look in front, don't worry about me. And I'm getting a push from behind, which allows me to push Xander ahead. And you can see that gap in front is probably a second between Xander and the next cart in front. So now we got to make sure we stay on Xander's bumper, because if he goes for any moves, we want to be there to follow him. And unfortunately, I screwed up that last corner back there. But like I said, that right-hander right there, that's where I'd catch up to Xander the most. And now we're right on Xander's bumper. So we're about to start lap 16 here, and this is where we're going to run into a bit of a dilemma. So lap 17 will be the start of 2 to go. And usually around 2 to go, that's when people start fighting and start defending. So Xander taps his helmet. I want to keep working with him because I can see the people in front clearly are getting closer, and we could be able to attack them maybe on the last lap. Reluctantly, the guy behind me also agrees to work together, so the 3 of us are still trying to catch up to the carts in front, but we are running out of laps. By the end of this lap, we'll have 1 to go, and then I'll have to start worrying, do I defend the guy behind me or go for a move on Xander? So we're about to go onto the straight here. We're about to start the last lap. Obviously, I can't pass Xander under my own power, and the guy behind me could easily pass me going down the straight. I point forward, trying to at least reason with them, saying, hey, don't pass me. Let's focus on the people in front. We don't get past, but we also don't get by Xander. And at this point, I'm starting to realize maybe we're not going to be able to catch up to them in time. So at this point, I've kind of focused my time and energy on Xander. Now, unfortunately, we're not really close enough to go for a move on Xander. It'd be one hell of a dive bomb. And going through this left-hander right here, I accidentally got too much of that curbing, kind of ruined my momentum. And we can see up ahead that everyone's all over the place. So if we had 1 more lap, maybe we could have gained a position. But going to the line, the person from behind is going to try and pass me to the line, but you can see him right there. Doesn't quite get the move done. We finish in 14th. Not the best race in the world. Obviously, my cart wasn't all that great in a straight line, but it was really fun racing with Xander, working together with him and the guy behind us. Sorry if I don't remember your name, the person who was behind us. I do apologize for that. I'm not that great with names. But that's all I'm going to have for today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.